Hello everyone, it's April. In today's video, we're going to work on a Mother's Day gift. I'm taking several random stuff that I got from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to try to make something pretty for Mom. So if you are my mother, stop this video right now and don't watch till after Mother's Day. Anyway, that little bunny box, it's just a little wooden, I wish I'd showed it just a little bit better, but it's just a little wooden box that I've had for probably a couple of years. But anyway, I'm taking that box and then the round 3D wreath form. It's a spherical wreath that you can get at the Dollar Tree. It's flat, but you open it up to make it look like a sphere like that. And I'm wanting to take this box and put it inside the sphere, and then we're going to set it on top of that flower bucket, and we're going to make something hopefully turns out kind of pretty. My first step, I'm taking that top layer that's got the bunny and the glitter and all that on it, I'm taking that off. This was fairly easy to take off if you could get it in the bigger chunks, but I didn't have to have any sandpaper or anything. I just kept fooling with it and I finally got it all off. And by the way, please excuse my fingernails here. I do eventually take that fingernail polish off. Okay, then, I apologize. I guess it was just that Walmart brand, the Apple Barrel white paint. That was the first coat. I think I'd come back a little later and put the white chalk paint on here. Okay, and for my sign, I went on Creative Fabrica and Canva, and I used those two together to make the sign. And I don't know if any of you all have, there's my sign. I don't know if any of y'all have used the white printable vinyl. I love that stuff because you can just put it in your printer and print on that vinyl and then just use it like you would any other vinyl. And here, all I'm doing is trying to measure it. I'm trying to get it as close as I can to the exact square. I kind of don't, but it really doesn't matter. I'm just using my Cricut paper cutter, paper trimmer, and I'm trying to trim off the excess vinyl. I'm just following along the indentions I made previously. And that's what I do here. I thought that ended up being pretty. It says, flowers are beautiful, but not as beautiful as my mom. And my mom, she loves sunflowers, so I thought it would be kind of fitting for her for Mother's Day. Okay, now I have my vinyl trim. I'm just going to peel off the backing and put it on, just try to square it up and put it on the best I can. It's almost like a sticker using this printable vinyl. It's kind of what it feels like. And there it is. I love that printable vinyl. I'll leave it in the description box, the one I got. I got it at Amazon. Actually, it was before Christmas because I think I used it something for Christmas. But you can get the printable vinyl for either a inkjet printer or a laser jet printer. But just make sure that you get the proper vinyl for your proper printer. Okay, now I'm taking that 3D wreath form, and again, I got that at the Dollar Tree. It took me a little bit to try to figure this out, but that little silver thing that you can see there, I'm trying to show you what it looks like. It's kind of like a wire in itself, and you just open up the wreath form in the sphere shape that you want it. You set that on top and you kind of wrap it around. It's one of those things that it's going to take you probably actually doing it hands-on to really understand how to do it. Okay, here we go. I'm putting it down in my lap to be able to try to work with this thing. But you see I've got the center cut out over top of the center of, I've already got the one end done. This is just doing the other end. But the little tab-like things, you go in between each individual wire part of this sphere. You kind of go in between it and then you sort of tuck it under. And you do that on each individual side. It's hard to describe this, to explain this. Once you actually have it in hand, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. And I apologize, this is probably a horrible explanation. My plan here is to like drill a little tiny hole in that wood box, and then it's going to sit on top to kind of help stabilize it. It's going to sit on top of that little metal piece on the inside. Okay, finally I've got a little hole. Can you see? See my little hole right there? Okay, and see right there, you probably could see the little metal piece I was talking about. And I'm just sliding my little wood block over top of that metal piece on the inside of that sphere. And now I'm going to take a bunch of hot glue and glue it between that wood block and that metal frame, and that just helps to keep it in there even more secure. Okay, now on the back side, you can see where the metal has come up through that wood. I just put a boatload of glue all the way around that to help just make sure that that was secure. Here's where I decided, and I'm sorry this view is not the best. I do straighten up a little bit throughout the video. It looks a little better. But here, I'm trying to figure out, I don't like that back showing. So I just took some cardstock and I tried to cut it out the best I can to fit that back. And then I just glued it on that back because I don't like that open area. And I knew it would be hard to take those flowers and have that completely covered. So that's all I'm doing here. Okay, this basically is trial and error. I just took an empty paper towel roll and tried to trim it evenly, and I just set it in there to kind of give it something to sit on. The edge of that little wooden block sits kind of like in between where those handles are, but I felt like it probably needs something a little bit more to stabilize it on the underneath. I would imagine if you don't have any empty paper towel, holders, you probably could stuff it with maybe just some newspaper or something. I think that would do the same thing. And you can see here the edge of that wood on that little block. It is able to fit kind of in between on the metal part, sort of under where the handles is at. And so on both sides of that, I put some hot glue just to kind of help stabilize it. Okay, I finally got my camera situated a little better. Now what I'm doing, I just took some chenille stems and I just cut a piece in half. I've sort of just weaved in and out where the handle of the flower garden tin-like thing is, and one of the little metal parts of the 3D wreath form. And when you get your flowers on there, you can't really see it. But that just helps even more secure that metal wreath form onto the pot. And I'll just play this, a little bit of this in real time so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, and that's all I've done on both sides. Okay, in this view, I've already started putting some of my flowers in, and I apologize I didn't show you from the start because my camera angle was not the greatest, but this angle is better. You can put some of the styrofoam for the flowers in your pot in the bottom of there. I didn't do that. I guess I kind of used the paper towel rolls that I had stuck in there to help hold those flowers up, and then I just put flowers in the bottom of it, and then I just sort of wrapped around the wire frame itself, just spreading up my flowers and kind of wrapping them up, and that's about all I done. I just kept putting flowers in there until I thought it looked full enough. These were Dollar Tree flowers that I have had probably years. Actually, I think most of this stuff I've had at least a year, if not longer. So, I mean, it was a good way to go through my stash. But unless you've got some really full flowers, really bigger flowers than these Dollar Tree flowers, I will forewarn you, it's going to take a lot of flowers to be able to fill this whole thing up to make it look pretty. So just be warned of that. I think I've lost some of my footage, but coming up is just part of the front. And I just keep working on it until I've got it where it's pretty and full looking, but you can still read and see that sign. And then I would take like a bigger individual flower, and around where I had that chenille stem, I would just take a flower and kind of glue it around that. That way you couldn't see it. And voila, there you have it. Everything's done. I've got all the flowers in. Isn't it pretty? I wish I had more of those purple hanging lilacs, or at least that type of flower. That would have been real pretty in this type of thing. But I think it turned out pretty. Then I got this bright idea. Ooh, lights on the inside would look really good. So I went and found a set of fairy lights. And see, there's the back side of it. Isn't that pretty? And then coming up here in just a second, you'll see the fairy lights in it. And the fairy lights are really pretty in it. Well, I decided to show you what I done. I just wrapped them around real gently. I think it was around the front 4, I don't even know what's called that. The bars, I guess you could call it. So the first 4 bars of that spherical 3D wreath, I wrapped them around that. And there it is in all its glory. Being serious, I think my mom will love it. But there you have it, folks. That is the beautiful, I don't know, I just kind of pulled that out of my brain, gift for my mom. And I hope you guys liked it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd really appreciate you subscribing to my channel and being a part of us, and ring the bell for notifications. You know, all the things. So until the next time, you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.